got a podcast this week. We have these gents. Could you describe who you are and what you do?
We're Smokey's King Shufflers, Dan, mate.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, by the way, anyway. Like, you know, like,
Likewise.
you're a legend, by the way, mate.
Oh, thank you. It's second time in my life I've been called it. My mum and now tonight.
Hey, you've earned that right, sunshine.
Thank you very much.
I'm Smokey.
Yeah.
Got King of the 4-string over here,
Yeah.
like Mr. Sam Collins on the bass.
Yeah.
My right-hand man, Adrian Peregrine on the guitar over here. Like.
Nice. And who's your drummer who's not present this evening? It's a rolling drummer, isn't it?
We've Pete Nichols is our main man, like.
Yeah.
And over time, we've just gradually developed
an arsenal.
Yeah.
We've got an arsenal of drummers.
A pool.
Yeah.
A drum pool.
Yeah, that's good. That's what you need, isn't it, as a band?
we're completely spoilt rotten for the drummers, and truly the best that are around, like, you know.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Mm.
You guys have just finished your album, not just, but fairly recently. How's that all gone? Are you all
It's amazing, mate. Like, we're massively proud of this record. Like, You know how it is. Like, when you're in the studio and you spend so much time there, like, creating this thing, you know, you become completely deluded about what's going on, because it's just there's so much going on.
You're in amongst it, aren't you?
Exactly. Like, but the polished thing is it's one of them things, like over time, like, it's because, you know, as a musician you're very critical of everything, and like and when you come out the studio, you're still in the studio mind, and you still think, no, like, I could change this there and change this there, but it's, and then gradually, when more people have listened to it, and more people have certainly the people that we respect have told us, like, how brilliant it is, you start to realise, like, and now, you know, when I listen back to it, like, it just makes us incredibly proud. Like,
that's lovely.
We give everything into this time that was spent there, like, and there was no stone unturned, and it, like, with us, it's one of them things where the planets just seem to align, like, every time, and we work with a lot of musicians. It's not just the drummers that the variety that we play with, it's also all these special guests.
Yeah.
And we managed to get all of them involved in this, and like and they just complement. Everything just complements. I couldn't have asked for anything better, really. It's for us, it's a piece of perfection, you know.
That's that's very good. Who did you have? Who do you have as your special guests?
Right. Well,
buckle
up, like.
For the recording was different to now. We've met some amazing people since the recording.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing thing, like, you know. That's the beauty of what we've got going. It's just always, the ball has always been moving, like, forward, you know, like, it's just been snowballing, like, we put a lot of graft in originally, and then since then we've just been reaping the rewards of that, like, and it's like every opportunity that comes up, we give it a chance, and it's like, it's worked out for the better, you know, like, we've been very lucky. But it started off with, you know, like, my main man, Bomber Harris, like, which is everybody's main man in the scene. Like, if any record is worth making, it's got Bomber Harris on it. Like, and he's the man that we got involved with our first gig, the debut of the. Of this band, you know, and so we got him involved, which is like, once he's down, you're sorted, you know, and as well, we've got all the all these horn players as well, you know, like and like I'll rail them off like because they deserve like accreditation for everything that they've done.
Yeah.
So you got George Comer on he plays a baritone and wheeled tenor solo. Nigel Pugh, great tenor player, like very appropriate player, like, and we just utilised his playing
very Ben Websterish
for the you know, like just such an appropriate player, and we just utilise what he can do is
he's the most polite. He's just
and
such a polite soloist.
Right.
and the way the
It
way
sounds silly, but he's so delicate. Yeah,
he's the only man.
Sounds stunning. Everything he puts on a track sounds stunning.
He's the only man who can just really own like the real deep down quiet sections.
Yeah.
So we got him involved in them, and then we've got Matt True and this massive personality playing the alto, and then he just screams it, you know, like he's competing with me on the ego, you know what I mean? Like on some of these tracks that like I could very rarely, but I can do nothing but sit back and just you know, like let him
Give
blow
him space,
away, he's like because that's what he does.
Go Wales.
Yeah, like and. Do we have anybody else?
That was it for the record.
But I mean, that was it. But that was so much, man. You know, and so like this record's like it's got all of these people involved, and it's just come together in such a beautiful way, Dan. Like, you know.
Do you excuse my ignorance? How long have you guys been together as a band? Has this been a very it's a fresh thing, mate. Like it's just over a year now. Like it's like it's ridiculous. Like how the stuff that we've done and experienced, and the things that we've done like in this year. But it's because of the just the shows that we put on, like that has just enabled us to take it further every single time. You know, like it's just constantly developing. You know, that's cool. Is this something that what would your influences be for this project? What's your what sort of started this as an idea? Is this something you've always wanted to do, like a sort of blues thing, or is this?
It all started out like. You know, I was in the big sets and that, like, and it was the height of summer, like, but we knew, like, after the summer we're gonna all go off and do our own thing, like, so I wanted to get something together, and for a long time, because I just play the harmonica and the saxophone and sing in the big sets, I'm a guitarist, mate, like from the start, like, you know, like, it's the guitar that I played, and I've always been desperate to get it back involved, but there's never been any space for another guitarist, and I wouldn't even bother, you know, like there's no need. So I've always wanted to pick the guitar back up, and this was my opportunity. Like when we did our own things for the winter, I was like, I'm gonna get a band together where I can pick the guitar back up and that, like, and it was just an idea, mate, you know, like, just like everything comes about in it, you know, like, I never knew what was going to happen, but but it was just something I was making vocally. I was going around gigs and that, like, and well, I seen these two boys in the Albion, like, and you know how it is there, you know, but, like, it's a very loose situation where in it, but also a very close community. Yeah, you know. So
it's actually a really perfect pub for gigging now, isn't it? It's like Liskeard's premium music venue, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Alex is an absolute bloody legend.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, he does so much for live music.
Yeah, he needs to champion it, doesn't he?
Well, not just Liskeard, like nobody. It's like
he
that way.
treats better than
that
most.
way, no, you know, like
it's incredible.
He looks after the bands, and because of that, like he gets the best bands in there. Like
we had a great experience playing there. He was just so kind and just really like. It's nice when you go and play somewhere and they're like excited for you to play.
Yeah,
you know, it's like a real
lovely,
lovely feeling, isn't it? And Liskeard is definitely somewhere where it had like a real amazing. For a long time, I've lived here forever, and it's like it was a time where like. The Barley Sheaf was just, you know, we gigs all the time, wasn't it? You know?
That was where I played my first ever proper gig.
Yeah,
was in the Barley Sheaf.
Yeah, I think we both probably cut our teeth for the Barley Sheaf.
Yeah, and
like
it was the most amazing place when Swifty had it, and then it's sort of Alex just took the reins.
Yeah,
and
really developed.
He treats you like gold.
Yeah,
and that's all you want as a musician, and that he brings the crowd in because he treats them like gold. Yeah. So we have the best gigs there. It's cracking.
And so like because of that, like I just got chatting to these fellas. I'd you know what I mean. I'd seen them around, but like we barely knew each other. Like, but when this came up in conversation, these guys were they were on it. Like you know, they were like, I want in. Yeah. You know, like, and I was like, well, let's do it, like, you know, like, let's see what happens. So it just started a very casual thing, like, and I spoke to Ed, like, I was like, right, come round and we'll have a little run through, we'll have a little talk and that, like, and then, you know, Ed turned up on the dot, like, round my, you know, I live in UK, he came down and we went through it, and then it was like, right, so this is the start of it, like, and then went round looking for a bass player, like, and I know, like, Sam had mentioned, like, he wanted in as well, so we got Sam in. Yeah. And then we started practicing putting this stuff together, like, and you know, like, I could go on forever because it's such a there's such a amount of story involved with the development of what we've created, but to summarize it up, like, it's just like everything fell into place. It just like we just did what we did, and it just seemed like it all
was effortless.
Every time
Every
time we needed something, it turned up.
We had a couple practices. The first time we all got together in Liskeard, we were having a practice, and it was we needed a drummer. Yeah. And then we were like, right, we started doing some stuff and got a YouTube video of just a blues shuffle going. Yeah. And then with that, a really good friend of ours, the King Snake, Ray just popped his head in. He goes, "Oh, I saw the light on. I thought you were getting robbed. Oh, do you need a drummer?"
Mm-hmm. No, it was like Ed knew Ray, and he was like, "Oh, Ray's the drummer," like, and we were like, you know, like, we need somebody, like, he had a drum kit set up, and it was like,
exactly.
I've a jam with us, you know, like,
because at that time I had a sort of little bit of a practice room in this garden, and like Ray turned up, and he's like, you could be like our sparring drummer, like you're training for a fight.
But like, that's how it ended up. But originally it was like he turned up like, just making sure the place ain't getting robbed. Yeah, and then he was like, he's a drummer. I was like,
get down.
Get down. So,
do you fancy doing a bit of drums with us? And he was like, all right, okay, I'll do a couple of numbers, like, and then he was like, I've got to go off. I was like, come on, like, stay around, and he. Do you know, like,
we played multiple gigs with Ray. Yeah.
He obviously knew what was going on, and Ray's got a huge CV as well, like, you know. Yeah. And then he was you know, he had a phone call to the missus, like, I'm just gonna stick around here for a little bit more, you know, and then we stuck around, and we just got this groove going, like. And then it became like a regular thing, and just we managed to develop this pristine sound, like.
That's lovely,
and but the original point, like, it all came about as like I wanted to do this stuff, and then at the time, which I still am, I was really into this Chicago blues. I'm a blues man, you know, like, but I got really into this Chicago blues, and I seen this band like Trick Bag, which
like it's like a Swedish band, and they get this harmonica player in Steve Weston, which is like pretty much my idol, like for harmonica playing, and I just seen him playing with them, and I was like, you know, like that's the sound that I want to create, you know, and so, you know, like we started like playing a couple of their songs and that, and it's we've got this groove that just knitted us together, you know.
Yeah.
From my point of view, I mean, I've been in a few different bands since I moved down to Cornwall from Wales or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I started doing the open mic for Alex at the Albion.
Yeah.
Because I literally thought, I've been in this, that and the other sort of outfit, and I thought, I'm going to take time out of it. I'll do the open mic and see what comes along.
Yeah.
Rather than like, first time in my life, trying to force it, trying to find stuff.
Yeah.
I'll try and sort of make stuff find me in a way.
Yeah.
And you know, John came along to the Albion one Sunday afternoon with Jake from Big Sets. They did a set outside in the garden, and I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, like he wails his like 64 like Fender Deluxe like out the back of the cow shed, like and he's in between me and Jake, like with his white Falcon, you know, like
it was the moment, though, you know what I mean?
It was one of them, like.
And you know, I said, you know, can I just sit you and you guys for one number? And like Jake says to me, yeah, you can do. He said, but if you shut, you can. You know.
That was the best bit. I was sat in the audience, and he goes, "I've got to get my Gretsch. I've got to get my Gretsch." He went and got it, and then as soon as he put it up, you do know if you're shit, you're getting off.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the funniest moment of my life, I think. Like,
which is fair dues, like, innit? Like,
but,
you know.
Absolutely.
But
So,
the thing is, Aid stuck up there.
Yeah.
Because
it's a ballsy move, isn't it? It's a really ballsy move. Yeah.
as soon as they say that, I'd crap myself. But Aid held his own, and
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
because of that, we're here, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
and then afterwards, like John pulls out his book. He said, "I'm thinking of putting a band together for the winter, like, because the Big Sets go in their separate ways, you know, for the winter and blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And that sort of was a sort of pivotal moment of it starting, really, I suppose.
Okay.
Really.
What did you used to do before this then? What bands were you in, or what was
The last band I was in Cornwall before this was Lost in Space.
Right. Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I was with them for about sort of 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
And I recorded an album with them as well, which I recorded and mixed and did all the rest of it myself.
Yeah.
So.
That's the thing, man. He's the boy with the sound as well, like, you know, like.
That's a good thing to have, isn't it?
It certainly is, man.
Right.
I think every band needs at least one person who kind of grasps all of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Couldn't
like
agree more.
we got Matt, and you know, it's invaluable, isn't it? Because to be in the band and know kind of what you want your recordings to sound like is massively important.
Yeah,
you know? Because trying to communicate that to somebody else who does your recording for you is really hard, and you very rarely find those relationships where you kind of lock in with somebody and they get it right, you know.
This is another thing, like another person I'd like to talk about as well, like, is the doc at PMC. You know the doc,
I know
like,
of him. Yeah, from
he is the ultimate recording engineer for me. Like, is the only person. You know, like, I haven't spent a lot of time working with many other people, but he is the only. I don't feel any need to. Like, he is just absolutely the most understanding person. Do you know, like, he just knows what you want before I can even vocalize this shit. You know, like,
it's a rare talent, isn't it?
It's unbelievable, and he's got his room, and he just knows how to manipulate it, like. To a T, like, you know, but when you listen to the record, like, you'll understand, like, you know, but there's no glitz and glamour about the studio, you know, like, it's a raw studio, but he just creates this solid sound, you know, like, it's beautiful, man.
And the thing is with that album as well, the King of Clubs, which our album, which also, by the way, is like got straight into the top 40 of the independent blues.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Broadcast
really
Association sort of whatever, which is awesome for us. But when we went and recorded that, we can do like what 6 or 7 tracks or whatever.
Like we're gonna do 7 tracks like in there, but we all got in together and we did it like a sort of live recording stuff, you know, and we got through like, you know, we booked it all out. I don't know, like for about like we booked about 6 days out or something in there. In about 3 hours, like after we got everything set up as well, like, you know, which takes a bit of time.
Yeah.
After about 3 hours, we're getting through the 7 songs, and I was like, we're gonna, you know what I mean? We're gonna run out of stuff to do, like, we just smashed through them, like, you know. Like, so it was like
that was mainly due to Pete. Pete is an absolute machine on the drums.
Yeah.
And having him drumming on that record
nailing
was
it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically,
unbelievable.
Everything on that record, basically in terms of rhythm section, like bass, drums, rhythm, guitar, was all recorded live, pretty much in one.
Pretty
take.
much in about 4 hours.
You know,
That's
well, one take,
that's studio dream, isn't
take
it?
everything. 4 hours, the lot was done.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
But like it's before that, like we'd spent a whole year like just gigging this show, you know, like the show.
It was rehearsed.
That's the
a hell of a while,
That's the trick, isn't it?
Yeah. So we went in there, smashed it, and then brought in all our mates that have played with us.
Yeah.
And
then we put the sprinklings on top.
Dust over top.
Yeah. That's really lovely, isn't it? I remember when we did our album, our first album, it was like the same idea, basically, just try and get, like, it was studio time's expensive, massively expensive. We recorded with John Cornfield, and basically all of those gents got together and they just did like a rhythm section, and there was a horn sectional, and then we did like vocals, and it was just, you know, you just got to hammer through. This time round, we took a lot longer, and tell you what, like, actually having that long period of time is like a noose for which to hang yourself, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, short sessions are actually really beautiful because you kind of go boom, done, and then you're happy with it. Whereas if you sit and have an infinite amount of time to tweak and fiddle and fuck around,
you think you lose it.
This
is what we're saying earlier, man. Like you don't know what's right anymore, like, innit?
Yeah, and that's what we were saying about being in amongst it. You know, get into that feeling.
You lose the moments though when it comes to that. Like if you got a certain indiscrepancy, that can sound great on a record.
Absolutely,
like, it really can. Whereas if you spend so much time trying to get it right, you can lose the spark. So it sounds like a digital record. It can sound like trance or any of that shit. It just you don't want that.
No.
You want it to sound raw and.
Well, I think one of the things that's changed in terms of like the sort of I don't know what the word is, like the meta of like recording, is that there's this search for perfection, and so now we have this like. We live in a world where you can infinitely tweak, you can infinitely cut and edit and fiddle, and do you know what I mean? You can do it to the minutiae, and you know, records are notoriously done to death like that. Whereas if you look back, say like
overproduced,
absolutely overproduced and over like you know, over like kind of examined, and but if you go back like 50 years, probably a lot of the music that like we all love, you know, collectively, even not just us but like everybody, some of the most incredible music that like defines what music is for everybody, very rarely was like done to death like that. You know, like
for me personally,
whatever.
Live albums.
Absolutely.
The thing is though, it sounds overproduced and it sounds just shit.
Yes, absolutely,
You lose the magic.
It depends what it's for. I mean, there's an element of like, you know, horses for courses, isn't it? There are like times where like, think for me, like I'm a massive like Radiohead fan. Some of that stuff is about those things. The minutiae, finding that minutiae and like fucking around with it. But some of the other stuff that I really love is those like those live albums, those live feelings. I was just listening to Sly and the Family Stone a minute ago, and like, you know, just like that feeling of like. Sometimes they fuck stuff up, but it's all right. You know, it's okay. It'd be all right in there.
I think fuck ups in records are brilliant.
Absolutely.
That's the beauty of the studio, when it's like, keep it.
Yes.
You know, like when it's like, when it's just something that like you would never do, and it's like,
that's all right.
Keep it. You know, like there was many times on that record like where it didn't go how it was supposed to go, but it was like, that's it. That's it up.
That's
we're
enough,
not
yeah,
we're
like
not like, you know what I mean. We're not going to tamper with that anymore. Like,
No,
I mean, like live, we never play any tune
the same. Or,
the same.
No,
You
yeah.
know, it's about, you know, how we are on the night. It's about
You gauge your
place the
audience.
audience. It's like
Yeah.
It's
who's
ridiculous.
playing with us. You know,
It's ridiculous how much they changed when we got into the studio as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the tempos were just completely different when we
Yeah.
played them live. You know, like in the first we were thinking, oh shit, like you know, like is it you know, like that's not how we normally play it. Like, but you know originally, cause it's like a complete clean canvas. You know, like it's very difficult at the start to think, oh shit, like what is this gonna be good or not? Like, and even still after, like it's only, you know, like where we're sat now, like I don't know, 6 months down the line when we can really appreciate them things, you know.
yeah.
it's like we get Gareth in playing drums with us, and like we do a section. It's like going into fucking half time and you know whatever, and just play about with it. You know,
That's like what he's saying there, like is because we use such a variety of players.
Yes.
It keeps it
Keeps it interesting, doesn't it? You know?
well, it just keeps it different, you know, like
Keeps it fresh.
you know, when people come to see us, they don't know, like it's always us three,
Yeah.
and then they don't know who else is going to be involved in it, and everybody adds their own little sprinkle on the top of the
it's
cake.
nice.
You know?
or you know, you've had Vince Lee.
Yes. Yeah.
You know Vince.
Legend.
You know, does a few. You know, has done a few gigs with us as well. You know, so we
Love
you know,
Vince Lee.
you know bring Vince with us
Amazing. Joe.
sometimes. You know, and you know, it turns into another thing entirely. You know, another different show. You know, so
We're massively lucky. I mean, I kind of, I feel. I've only ever lived in Cornwall. I lived in Plymouth for a little bit, so that's not totally true. But apart from that, you know, I've only lived in this area. But I am massively excited by the level of craftsmanship and musicianship in this part of the country, and the fact that people can kind of like hook up and meet people, and like, you know, like we were talking about all the bands that I know you're in,
Yeah.
and like they've been through here. Like, there's this massive like network of people that are like all intermingled, intertwined, and you know, and I love that about Cornwall. It's a really positive thing.
It's a
Yeah,
massive
right,
community
right.
of musicians, and
Yeah.
it's cracking.
Yeah, it's really
It's,
nice to be able to
you're
draw
right,
from that
man.
as well.
It's like especially like for me, like with the blues community,
Yeah.
you know, like like it's just like we all like play the same circuit and that, like, and every now and then we get the rare opportunity where it combines, and it just, you know, like the thing about the blues is like it's just a jamming thing, like, you know, like it's there's a slight foundation, but the rest is just improvisation, you know, like it's and so like you know, whenever we say that it's the same as, like, you know, when you know, when the Muddy Waters played that gig and he gets the Stones up and that, like, and jams with them and that, like, you know, like, well, like when we play gigs and we see like one of the blues legends of the scene, because like that's what they are, you know, like it's people go to pubs to watch music, like, and from my experience, it's the blues and that, there's a real scene for it, like, you know, like people make an effort to go and see this, and then there's always magic moments, like, you know, like if we see somebody in the crowd that like you know, like
Russell
Vince or
Sinclair.
Russell,
Sinclair,
or
when
James
he's out.
Dixon, you know.
Yeah.
it's like, you know, we'll get them up and we'll have a like
That's lovely, isn't it?
we'll have a bit fun, you know. It's
You know, Jake from Big Sets has played with us. You know, Chog and Chris has played with
it's
us.
what it is, man. Like
I love that community.
we have a
That's what it
like
is.
we go
It's
to
just
a
a
gig,
community.
like and it's like you don't know what's gonna happen, you know, like it's not like it's a set structure, like we'll go to a gig and we're just open to take it anyway, you know?
I'm from a very different background. We're very rigid, and we're very much like, this is our polished thing, and you know, and it is what it is, isn't it? You know, but like, there's definitely
But like you do it really well,
that.
though. Like you know, like you do a very good job of that. Like.
But it is just a very, refined. It's like a theatrical performance, isn't it? So
it is,
like,
mate.
And different from the way that like what you guys do is actually this kind of free form improvised.
We
thing.
do a bit raw, yeah.
Yeah, and I really like. I like both things, so they're different things, but I really love improvisation. I really love like how that happens, and creativity is a really amazing thing. Is there do you guys ever like when you're like coming up with songs or stuff? Do you ever suffer from sort of writer's block, or do you ever get like jammed up?
Of course, mate. Like, hey, man, you're never gonna meet any musician that it like. Unless David Bowie or something, like, you know what I mean? Unless you get David Bowie in there, like, and ask him that question, you know, like, everybody's gonna, it's what happens, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
and how do you overcome it? Have you got any secrets to getting around it, or is there like?
I tell you what I do, mate. I just become conscious that, like, I can't fucking think of anything.
Yeah.
And then like when I listen to people, like, trying like to think of their inspiration, I think the main thing about writer's block is it's an internal thing. It's I would for me personally, and I think it applies to like most musicians. Is when you just you think to yourself, like, when you just second guess yourself, like, you know, you think, is this, because like there's no right or wrong, you know, like, so you think, well, is this good, or is this not good, or am I writing complete bullshit, or like am I writing the good stuff? It's such a like there's just no judgment on it, like.
For me, I started getting real bad writer's block. So like before I joined Company B, I was doing like my own sort of bands and with various other people, and like there was a time where I was just like prolifically, for me, writing, like I couldn't stop writing stuff, and I had like almost effortless writing, you know, it just like whatever it was, I was just happy with it, and I was content that it was all right, and then I joined the band and I stopped doing it. And I started doing this. I started singing and spending all my time just singing, not playing guitar, and you know. And then I lost the mojo, or I lost something. I don't know what it was. And I've never got it back. It's really weird. This has been like 6 years of it. And I started this podcast with a very secret mission of like listen to a load of musicians, explain what they do to get around it, see if I can find out the secret sauce to it.
Well, that's a little bit like how I did the open mic at the album.
Yeah.
To sort of, you know, sort of go into sort of floating mode.
Yeah.
And see what influences come your way.
Yeah.
And which direction you want to go. And that's what worked for me.
It's
like
that's really because that's what creates music, and it's like it's influence, and it like it's that's all it is. Like there's no answer to that. Like just sometimes you wring the cloth dry. Like
the best songs come quick, don't they?
Yeah.
The really good ones just like come out of you, and it's not like it's like a contrived thing.
No,
it just falls out of the air.
You just gotta keep at it, like just keep that pen to the paper until it starts moving, like, innit?
Yeah, it's really amazing, and I love it, and it's like a real incredible thing that humans do, being able to like free-form ideas, suck up information, and then free-form out something else. It's a wonderful thing that we're, as humans, able to do, and like I see like computers like trying to learn how to improvise, and it's amazing seeing how sometimes they can be so shit at it, and you just think like that's something we, as humans, do very easily and naturally. To be fair, it's really interesting.
What I do a lot is, you know, like I write these songs like and I just think there's nothing to it, you know, like and I write them down, I'll go through them and then like forget about them for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you know, like I'll just be going around my day-to-day business, and then they'll just start playing around. It's just like when you hear it, like a good song on the radio or something. Like
you get your ear.
and then that's when I'm starting to think
Mm.
there might be something to it. So I usually gain respect for the songs that I write. Saying that, like there's sometimes you know when you've got a good one, and it's very rarely, but like a lot of the ones they just start to chip away, like you think, right, I'm gonna have to do something about this, I like to constantly just experiment, you know.
I mean, we were saying about writer's block. You can get locked into a song, and it stops you moving on to the next thing. And sometimes you've got to
just say goodbye.
Yeah, exactly, and move on, because you sort of get fixated and fucking stuck into that.
I'm gonna dig my way out of this.
that thing, and it goes back to what I was saying before. That the best ones come quick. And they almost come in their entirety.
Like that was sort of what Matt was saying. He sort of has a similar experience. And as a lot of people say that it comes effortlessly. It's like uncovering something, or imagine a fossil, and you just sort of you're just brushing away at it, and there it is. It's there, and you don't even know, and it feels like cheating. And I can remember it. It's really funny, because I can remember that lucid feeling of uncovering a song. And it would just come out, and then I'd go and I'd sing some words, and often the words would be. This is something that I do badly, which is I just kind of put words to something that don't mean anything, but they just come out of my mouth.
Flow. Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this the other night, because I don't know what I was watching, but fucking Dolly Parton. I think BBC are doing a series about sort of musicians, songwriter, and they interviewed Dolly Parton, and she wrote what's that massive hit?
9 to 5.
No,
Jolene,
and the
wherever
would you?
And I will know.
Exactly. She wrote both those songs in one night. And she said that was a good night.
That was a good night, wasn't it?
Do
you know what I mean?
It's everybody knows that other chick's version, but
exactly.
If you listen to Dolly Parton's version of that, it is so raw and sincere.
Absolutely. But wrote both those songs in one night.
Amazing.
Done, completed, finished.
We have examples where things like, I was thinking about the Beatles. Their period of time that they were together is the same. Is they were together less time than Company B being together. Think about how many albums they did. Think about how much stuff they just shit out music. Boom, out it came. Albums. And those types of things are kind of sad.
But the thing is, Lennon and McCartney, apart from the Beatles, they were writing songs for other people.
Really?
Who were making hits from them as well.
I tell you what it is, man. So what I'm thinking now is the answer to what writer's block is.
Have we fixed
if you put we've just found the solution. The Beatles will always be the bloody solution to this one. It's what it is because they were pumping the stuff out and the people were eating it up like there's no tomorrow, they were just I admit they were geniuses, but if everything that you pumped out was just just like a massive hit, it would make it a lot easier, wouldn't it? Life would be a lot easier, if you just knew, all right, well, I can put this stuff because,
formula. Back then there was a formula. Now there's a formula. It's totally different. There's songwriters now, and producers will throw some 3 songwriters in a room, and they know the formula for now. Totally different to 20 years ago.
It's not the same as going to, we'll go down the album and play a certain couple of numbers that they'll bum out compared to it.
If the producer this week said to those 3 songwriters, you're playing this song that you write now with this formula in the Albion and Liscard, it wouldn't go down well at all.
No.
yet they know the formula for the charts. It's totally different.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's.
Do you think like now? Do you think like we've seen like some big changes over our collective musical awareness phase? So like the age that we've all been actively listening to music and buying music and all that stuff. Do you think that like music's in a bad place in terms of like what like for me, I grew up in like the 90s. I can think of things like fucking Smashing Pumpkins, Tool.
I think it's shit now.
Yeah, but then I wonder if that's like I kind of.
You
wonder,
talking about the industry or
like
music as
yeah,
such?
but like both really. To a
Both.
degree.
Okay.
I think both are shit right now.
From my point of view, it's like, like 30 years ago, the music industry was about you recorded albums and you toured to sell your album.
Yeah.
Now the big bands, they record an album
Yeah.
which is in support of their tours.
Yeah.
Because the money is all about playing live.
Yeah.
The money's all about playing live and merch. That's the two biggest earners.
And like the big bands playing the big festivals, 200, 300 grand, whatever,
Is that a bad twist now?
No, I think it's a good thing because in some ways, but in terms of like, it's all about playing live.
Yeah.
It's like,
which kind of means that you have to
I
be
think,
good.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
yeah.
But it just takes the
I'm not
art
talking about
out
the
of
money.
the
man,
recording.
Man, but seriously, like it's got nothing to do with like what we're doing, because what we're doing is
It's almost like a timeless thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
no, mate. Like it's like it's just there's nothing more pure than what we're doing. When we rock up to a gig and we play that gig, we turn up and we have the fun. Like, we've got nobody telling us how we should orchestrate this thing. We do this in the way, like, for us to have fun and entertain people, mate. Like that, we're having our fun and we entertain people, mate. You know,
It's not just that.
that's
give and take.
That's all that matters.
I think that shows on the album as well, because we did the album in like a live theme.
Yeah.
It comes across, and when you see us live, if you buy our CD after seeing us live, you won't be disappointed, because it's got the same
vibe.
it's got the same vibe.
It's
It's
entertainment,
there.
man. Do you know,
It's
like
entertainment, and it's like when you see us live, we're giving it fucking everything.
Yeah.
And in the record, we are to the point where we've got everyone we knew at that point as our special guest. They are all on that record.
Yeah.
And now we know for our next record.
So it's going forward.
We've brought it forward. We've got more special guests. We got more of a horn section, which is sounding incredible.
this is the thing, man. Like,
And we are just
every time
gig
you
trying to
come
bring
to
it
see
forward.
us, it's just a new development. Do you know, like you're never gonna say the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys are like constantly evolving? Do you think you're gonna
100%.
Do you think your next album will be? Is it going to still be in the same wheelhouse though? But
sorry, mate. Stop you, Dan.
No, you carry on.
We're booked in October to record the next album,
Yeah.
like, and we're in the process of like writing, because this one that we'll give you tonight, like, it's just playing all the old traditional songs and that, and just putting our own twist on them.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that's what we do. Like, we've got our own sound, and so we've realised, like, well, you know, like, that's where the graft comes out of, like, the sound, innit? Like, so this next one we're booked in October to record. It's gonna
where
be
are you recording it?
at PMC, mate.
Yeah,
with the Dot, mate. Like, he is the man. I don't intend on working with anybody else,
No.
man. He is just the perfect person to, like, get the job done, like, you know. And this time, like, we've got our sound down, like, but, you know, like, we're singing old songs about stuff, like, good catchy songs, like, back in the day, but, like, my plan is now to make the lyrics a bit more relevant, like,
Yeah.
but just using the craft that we put in like on the sound, like, you know, like, so similar sounds, but lyrics that are just gonna resonate with everybody that hears them, you know.
Cool. Okay. Do you guys you're sort of involved in the local music scene? Do you think is there anything that you sort of do to like add to your community? Like for a little while, I sort of was gigging in Plymouth, and there was a few people that like made that scene. And you know, like we got Vince Lee up in Plymouth.
He is the ultimate, he is the king. He deserves
the king.
to like, he is the man that well, like, for me, he is the man that recognised and did everything he could to bring us forward. He's the man that's constantly like no ego attached, like, you know, like, which he should have, like, because he's so good, you know, like, but he's always
he's the most incredible player.
He's at the top, like, and he's always dragged like the right people up with him, like, you know. It's
what's the saying? Like the rising tide lifts all the boats, you know.
I mean, you're asking from a band point of view.
I've never heard that saying,
but that is Vince Lee. That is Vince Lee.
It is, mate.
I mean, I do everything I can to help everybody that I know who are musicians, whether it's
that's what we're doing, man. We all do that, man.
Lending PA from you know, whatever
sort of open mic,
you know, whatever. I live and breathe this. You know, it's like
we all look after each other, man, didn't we?
Like it's all about the music, as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't matter about personalities. Or, you know, whatever, it's all about the music.
But like, maybe if like Vince was all about himself and that, like, it might have had it probably will have had a knock-on effect, like, you know, like everybody trying to get one up on it. But like, because he's at the top, like, and he's just like just bringing everybody up, it's created this beautiful scene where
the guy's just,
you know,
like a local legend.
You know, like we all encourage each other.
It's not like he's one of those pushy, trying to be sports, like, oh, you got to pay here. Not only that, he's just he's the best of the best.
And when you get
amazing.
And when you get him in the right mood, like he is the ultimate showman. Like, do you know, like
I've known Vince. I mean, I've known Vince as a performer since I was I'm 37 this year. Since I was like 18, 17, going to the Barley Sheaf, and I just sit and watch him play, and I would just be like. I like the blues. It's not my most favourite genre. But I could just sit there and just watch him, just like
absorb it.
Just drink it in and just watch somebody, like, you know,
on top of the game.
Absolutely kills everything he does, and he's just beautiful.
The Barley for me, that was my venue when I was growing up.
Yeah,
that's the first place I ever played. Yeah, like properly played, and growing up there with Swifty owning it. I saw Vince there, and he just blew my mind. The first time
all the time as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was there.
Getting through, coming.
Yeah, I was there when I was 8. As soon as I turned 18, he was the first person I sort of saw. Yeah, and it blew my mind. And I always loved the blues. That was my thing. Yeah, I've been in loads of bands playing other stuff, but blues was my bread and butter. Yeah, and seeing Vince do it so fucking good.
Yeah, he's top notch.
And then growing up, like, getting better and better music, and then meeting these boys, and then actually getting to play with Vince was
a bit of a dream.
Fucking awesome! Like,
I
it was such a throwback.
Here, you know, it was like real boon to have him here.
The guy's a hero. He really is for me, and he's.
So, like, talking about community, do you guys think that, like, at the moment, like, we see venues shutting down, we see like the days where, like, those open mics that would be really, really useful for getting together with new musicians and stuff like that, sort of coming and going. What's the future for musicians who are, like, sort of coming up? Is there something we can do as a sort of community musicians to make that a better place, or what do we think is the?
Well, I don't think there'll be any problems about that down here. Like, you know, like I've seen what it's like. Like up north and that, it's the reason I came down here. Like, but
I think
give us a second, mate. Like, I think because there's so many. I mean, when the summer comes around, there's a festival every single weekend, like, and then they all give everybody an opportunity. All levels of acts, you know, like And I think if
I just think I saw you guys at Leo. I saw the big sets at Leo.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's another good one, isn't it? To
Yeah,
It's
get
like
breakfast,
we've become like the house band, like
I love Leo.
that mono tent. I don't think
That
they
mono
don't
tent is
anymore.
awesome.
I think it's something different, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back this year.
I love it.
But yeah, like I mean, the big sets is the perfect round offer, like you know, because it's just the balls to the wall from start to finish, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I love that festival.
Yeah.
And but that is I love, you know, I love all of the festivals down here. The beauty of it is like it's not just quantity, it's quality as well. Like I prefer, like, and you get all the really small festivals, and you know, like these intimate. There's just so many of them going on in the summer, like. And that's what this place is down like Cornwall. It's a summer like.
It's very seasonal.
It's a seasonal
we're
town.
massively seasonal.
And it is very supportive of the musicians. Like you hear about all these pubs and that closing and that, like. I don't think it really applies down here. Like I think as far as the music's concerned, it's thriving like down here.
And things happen off energy. It's like last year. With Lou Festival, what happened with Lou Festival, and then it all went off, and then like Wonky, we have to give mention of Wonky, like doing the West the West Lou stage, which we did over a couple of days, and we got Gary and Zoe from the Jolly Sailor down in Lou there.
Yeah,
legend. Did the bar and all the rest of it, and we put that on the West Lou stage, got loads of great bands there. We did a great gig on the Friday night, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then we've been doing loads of gigs in Jolly Sailor and all the rest of it, and then other gigs,
Are you going to be on this the next Lou one or something?
I don't even know actually. We were going to be on last year, and the weather shut our stage down.
Absolutely.
I got there, ready to go, and they shut the stage down.
But that's the thing with venues and music. It's like 5-6 years ago, the Barley Sheaf was like most of the album Liscard.
Yeah.
I know the Barley Sheaf are still doing music, and I'd love to see the Barley Sheaf. Cause
nothing better than having a load of places to play.
Absolutely, and then like the Jolly Sailor and Lou and the Gary and Zoe. That's gone like from the odd folk night, and now it's doing gigs. Places.
So it's actually all right. So
that's like places. It's the people and the energy and the love that goes into it.
Yeah.
One of the special
produces
places,
the good stuff,
One of the special places I think is Livewire in Soho House.
Oh, absolutely.
That needs to keep going.
Andy, what a legend.
That just keeps blossoming and blossoming.
I came up through Livewire actually.
Really?
Let's give a fucking big shout out to Andy Rance.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Yeah, Andy Rance is a top-notch.
Haunt the Woods, what an amazing band they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they have blossomed through Livewire.
Yeah.
And
well, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, what an amazing situation we're getting into. These are like incredible. But
this week that we're recording this, Haunt the Woods have just done a Pavilions.
Pavilions, yeah.
So, and that is all from Livewire. Like they won't mind me saying that because, Jack, the bass player, is a massive friend of ours.
Yeah.
And the guy's a hero, and that's all because of Livewire, and that place needs more support. That place is fucking incredible.
Yeah, I love it. So kind of the sort of the meat of what I was trying to get to really was like, what is it that solves the problems in musical society? For me, when I grew up, there was money invested in music. There was money invested in people at school going to have music. Now that money sort of dries up.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder what the knock-on effects are. And there's lots of little knock-on effects in my head. Some of these little smaller venues shut, places like the Hub shut.
Yeah.
And then there's nowhere for like bands like us to go.
Yeah.
Because we're not big enough to necessarily go to the pavilions.
No.
But maybe too big to do.
I think it's stuff like that where we're lucky enough to have places like Livewire.
Yeah.
Because they're amazing for that, and like the Albion, like
go on,
Alex is so good at bringing new music in.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone needs. It doesn't matter. Like we're very lucky. He loves like the blues scene.
Yeah.
But he'll bring someone else in a bit different. Like he had a French band in the other day, which are a bit rocky.
Yeah.
Well, a bit metal really.
Okay.
But they were so different. He gave them a chance, and they were bloody great. They were really bloody good at what they did.
You
and
need
it's
somebody
that's
brave
what you
enough to
need.
do that, don't you?
That's what it is. It's
Absolutely,
just being brave.
Yeah.
And Livewire have nailed it. Alex has nailed it,
Yeah.
and that's why we're so fucking lucky down here.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
that.
Dan, we've got a proposition for you actually. Like,
Yeah, we do.
Was it for later?
No. Like, well, like maybe it's like, oh well, that's for
Well,
another
we'll keep that
time.
off camera.
But
I
like,
think
Sam's
that-
got a little
I've
idea
got a little
over here, like.
proposition, but
Okay.
you might. Well, I think
Yeah,
the camera's
but
on
yeah,
again.
man, like,
Yeah,
pitch
yeah.
it to him,
I like
we're,
pitch
it,
it, man.
we're thinking. A couple of years ago, I went into the public hall in Liscard,
Yeah.
and I saw Company B do a music video,
Yeah.
and you got your dancers in and everything,
Yeah.
and I had the fucking best night ever.
It was good, wasn't it?
It was cracking,
Yeah.
and we're thinking, why don't we, Smokies and Company B, hire out the public hall.
Make something special.
Do a
Let's
double header.
let's
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
double
I
header.
think we could
I'll
work
put
something
love
PA in
it.
there
I think
and sort out all the production.
I love it. Yeah, yeah.
I think we could get a proper dancing night, blues and jive all
Yeah.
night.
We've into switched those top spots already, haven't we? A couple of times. So yeah,
Well, I think
absolutely.
this needs to
Exactly, man.
happen.
I love it. Yeah, the public. I was just down in the public hall the other day, and I was like, it's a great venue.
It's an amazing event,
amazing
yeah.
venue. We're like, this could be another venue that like could be utilised.
The thing is,
Absolutely.
we're very lucky. Like we got Aid, who's got an amazing sound. Like,
Yeah,
well, he's basically
He's
got
the
a
boss,
sound
man.
company.
He's the boss.
yeah.
Um,
We've got a similar guy as well in our band. I love it.
So,
You meet-
like, you know what I
everybody meets
mean?
a
Like,
benefactor,
it's
don't
a,
you?
you
He's
know,
got his
they'll
own-
get along like bloody Bonnie and Clyde. They do, like.
We've got a PA hire company
Yeah.
in our band, which is
Yeah.
amazing. So
That's
we
what you want, isn't it? You
we got-
need a benefactor.
we got PA hire.
It's alright, like, you know,
For-
it's alright. It has its downs.
But
yeah.
we're thinking, why not do a ticket event for Company B
Yeah.
and Smokies, wherever Blues and Jives night.
We're doing.
Right.
We got our album coming out soon.
Cool.
Like, well, it's not finished, but we got our album coming out soon. So yeah, I think that sort of stuff is exactly what we need to do. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
That'd
course,
be
man, like,
Company
you know,
B haven't played in Liscard.
like you're saying, like, you know,
We
like,
haven't- we
we're,
haven't
Let's do
played
a big one.
Yeah,
Let's
last
do a
time we
big one.
played was at the Albion.
Right, okay.
Yeah, last time we played in Liscard.
In the summer, yeah,
Oh,
at the back, yeah.
yeah. So
you
yeah.
should get the boys in here, like, into a little
Yeah.
podcast with them as well, like.
I've said to them about doing it.
We should
There's
interview.
We'll interview you.
Yeah, there's 7 of us, and like you can see what the situation is with 4 of us in it. We're already.
You'll have to get a bigger sofa, mate. Like,
Just get them outside.
Yeah.
go down like
Yeah,
Kia, like.
summer, do it outside. That'd be the way forward. wouldn't it?
Oh, mate, like, say, like, we're expanding the empire already, like, you know.
Exactly, and this is what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like,
absolutely. And
you
I
know,
think,
we all pitch in and support each other.
yeah, and that's really important, isn't it? And like that's what we were saying about Vince Lee. And I think you're absolutely right. It's these kind of unions. It's these ideas of like meetings of people and
Yeah.
getting music together. I'll tell you another. So there's another little bit of this show that I really like to talk about, and it's like bands that you kind of that you want to shine a light on. For me, one of those bands, and a guest that I'd like to have on at some point is I don't know if you've heard of them or not, Malavita. Malavita are like a Latin funk band,
Right.
and they're like a 7-piece, I think, and they're just like they're absolutely on it, and they
Right.
would be another good band to like have. You know, like if you think about putting on like a little Liscard show, they're like just absolutely on it.
Nice.
Yeah, really, really good. So, is there any bands that you guys would like to shine a light on?
Graveyard, mate.
Okay.
Band called Graveyard, right, which is like
The kings of the kings.
this
Okay,
is like,
wow.
I mean, you know, like, I mean, there's no more light that can shine on them that there already is, like, but these guys are these are the guys that all of us musicians, like, on the blues scene and that, go to see how it's done, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we all need someone like that, don't we? We all need someone like that.
these guys are
They're the gurus.
Yeah.
they're the gurus,
Yeah.
mate, like, and this is where we just pick off Pete, our drummer's he's a drummer, and Bomber, the main man.
Yeah.
He's on the organ, and it's an instrumental band.
Okay.
And for a musician, I think like a lot of like non-musicians enjoy it, but for a musician, like whenever I go to one of their gigs, it is just ram jammed with all the musos, you know, and they're all there for the same thing. They just witness this
perfection.
It
It's
is
just perfect.
like especially for us, where it's like a loose thing where like we're just grooving off each other, you know, like where it's just a case like when we play a gig, we groove off each other and we take it in each direction, like which it needs to go in, like, you know, like it's and these guys do it better than it's like it's just an unbelievable thing to witness, like, and at the moment, like they're my top band for anybody to go see, like, you know.
Okay, what about you? You got anything other than?
They are incredible.
Yeah.
Locally, I'd say
You got your own other bands you could
I've
plug?
got. Well, there's a few.
Yeah.
No, like I'm in Rakes. We've just recorded an album, which is great, but
However,
something I'm not in.
Yeah.
One
of the few ones.
I couldn't rate Buffalo Frame more.
Oh, the Frame. The Frame boys are top
for
notch.
one-
I love them. Yeah.
For one, they're like
3-piece fucking balls to wall rock. Yeah.
they're my best friends. They really are. But
Yeah.
I'm Led Zeppelin through and through. That's my sort of shit, and
Yeah.
those boys fucking nail it. And
Yeah.
the songs they're writing are just
I'm looking forward to hearing them.
incredible.
Yeah.
And Paul's voice is just getting better and better.
Yeah.
For some reason, he's lost a finger and he's still getting better and better, which makes no sense to
He's
me.
lost a finger?
Yeah, he lost half of his finger, and he's the guitarist, but he's so fucking
I was
good.
careless.
Yeah, that was careless. Yeah, find that.
But he's that's my one to
That's a
look
great-
out.
the-
Buffalo Frame, I love them to pieces.
The problem is, like, as a musician, when you're gigging every Friday and Saturday,
Yeah.
you don't get the opportunity to
Go
see
see
many
bands.
of these
No.
people.
I couldn't agree more on
You're
that. Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
right.
You know, it's a difficult question, that one. Like,
Yeah.
I was
The-
so disappointed last week. Like Alex booked great booking, Vince Lee and Joe Buddy,
Joe Buddy, yeah.
and unfortunately because we've been gigging flat out, I've got a girlfriend at home that I don't see enough
Yeah, so you've
because
got
of
to put some time in
gigging,
there, yeah.
and because of
the
that I
stag
couldn't
do's,
see
that's
it.
got to be on here there. Like, you've got to get round to that though, like
And,
stag do's and
and a stag do.
London trips and that. Like,
Mate, you gotta do
I've got to give a massive mention, obviously, to Haunt in the Woods because
Couldn't agree more.
I mean they you know, it's like
Killing it, yeah.
absolutely.
Not
I
just
mean,
that, Jack's been amazing.
Yeah.
He comes to see us all the time, helps us out all the
Yeah.
time.
I don't know the rest of the guys, but he is
Ollie,
he's an
or
incredible guy. Like, I love that
yeah,
man.
and you know they're doing really great, you know, and you know.
I tell you what, I had a really great. It was ages ago, but the Haunt the Woods did Haunt the Woods take over Plymouth, and talking about that sort of community thing, talking about that kind of like lifting all the boats. That was such a great day. I went and saw Moriarty. I went and saw Steve Strong. I went and saw Russell Sinclair, is he called?
Yeah.
Who else was he? A little bit of little drop of Vince Lee. And I
It
saw
was
Bad
Sprinkle
Corn
Evans
as
on
well.
the top here, man.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely,
it's bound to be something good, eh?
I love
No.
Moriarty.
Oh,
I
and
think
Moriarty,
they
yeah,
are fucking
yeah.
brilliant.
They're like one of my favourite bands to see live. I fucking love them. They're
Yeah.
great. I tell you what, their album's hell of a good.
Is
Their
it?
new album is hell of a good.
I saw them first at the Barley
Yeah,
when Swifty had it, and Jesus Christ, they are
amazing.
fucking
Just
brilliant.
the two-piece. They're really
Two
good.
piece
Real good.
guitarist that goes for a bass amp and everything, but they are
What's this?
fucking
That?
shit.
I might
up.
have seen these fellas before. Like.
It's
Tell you what, when we
basically-
finish this, right, I'll play you some Moriarty then. Fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
nice.
It's basically
They might
music
have
you
played
hear
Don
in a
Whispers,
strip.
I think. Like, I might have seen these.
Yeah.
fellas.
Music you'd hear in a strip club,
I
and I
could-
think they'd be happy with
I
that.
couldn't go to the Pavilions gig for Haunt the Woods, but what I can say is two of my guitars did and an amplifier.
Yeah,
so
they're having
I mean,
a great time.
you
aren't
know,
they?
that, you know, we support and love each other and wish each other the best.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
It's basically if anybody needs anything, like it's the money.
Well, but it's good. But then that's what we were saying earlier about like what is it that really helps music happen? What is it that cultivates a good musical environment in the places that you live? And it's
love.
that community spirit. It's that
love.
love.
It's love.
And it's like helping everybody out. You know, like I talk about it a lot. But when I was not in any bands and when I was just playing on my own and I was just I just would go and do open mics, I met a group of people in Plymouth and they sort of welcomed me in, and like to a degree that began my journey. And it was like playing to nobody and playing for nothing and playing at the worst slot, but being given an opportunity, given somewhere to play and given an opportunity to grow and experience being a performer. And like you know, you were saying it when we were off camera, but like learn your craft, you know, get your chops in, you know.
And if you're good, like that's what happens, man. Like, you know, like well, like nobody else is gonna look after us. We've got to look after each other. And if you're good and if you're serious about it, like you know, like well, that's what it is. Like you talk about like what you do for the community, like what. We're all constantly doing everything to create to maintain the community that we have between us. Like, you know, like it's we all know we're on the same level. This is why like we can just come in here, like come in the house and do this.
This is that exact thing, isn't it?
Manner,
you know, and I'm really thankful and grateful that like such fucking awesome and talented people such as yourselves come in and like give you your time. And like it's, you know, it's I know this is a very small thing, but it's about like growing something in it.
But because of that that feeling, we knew like we're going to come in here and we're going to have a lot.
It'll be all right, yeah.
Well,
and that's exactly how I feel, and that's partly why I love doing it, because I like shining a light on some of the fucking awesome musicians we have and some of the great different things that are going on. It's a, you know, like if I look through the list of people that like have been on the podcast, it's a Cornwall supreme.
Cornwall United.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But like, I mean, the majority of the bands on there, there's a few things that are like, there's a few like American authors and other random things, but actually it's those small things. And like Matt Twanicki, like you know, there's times where videos do very poorly, times when videos do very well. You know, Matt's video had like 1,000 people reacting with it, like 400 people sort of watched it. For me that was a mental thing. But it's about those little, you know, just build something up.
It's a lot more than some of the gigs we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've played gigs where I played with Company B and we've played to like 8 people, and we've played gigs where we played to like thousands of people. And you just and sometimes we've done those big gigs and we do those small gigs, but it's going to every gig and pouring your heart out. It's going to every gig and being...
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Making like, every...
That's the
those
thing.
8 people could be the people that like... You don't know who anybody is, do you?
That's one of the things, the biggest things I love playing. Well, I like play behind John, but when John goes out, it doesn't matter if he's playing to fucking 2 people.
No,
like,
I see that. Yeah.
We played a gig in the Rod and Line a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, it wasn't the greatest of gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put his fucking heart and soul into being the front
really
man, and that was incredible.
Yeah.
And then the same chap, like, well, when we play a gig, John doesn't show out. Smokey comes out.
Yeah.
And when Smokey comes out, and he did it Rod and Line.
Yeah.
And then going back into the summer when we played Lou Music Festival.
Yeah.
Smokey came out the exact same person, but holy fuck, what an amazing gig!
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, because I'm so privileged to play with John. Like,
you're all actually massively talented musicians.
Thank you,
you're damn right, mate.
Like playing behind John, and John puts his fucking all into it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to 2 people or 1,000, it doesn't matter. It's the same performance you get.
It's actually really hard to do that, isn't it? Really hard to do.
I couldn't personally.
No.
And John nails it.
But it's that persona.
Don't you? No, don't you, Sam? Like,
it's
like that is how it is. Like, I'm not gonna.
But that's
I'm not gonna try and say it ain't. Like,
no.
but these boys, I couldn't do it without. I couldn't create this emotion.
Yeah.
And this feeling, and I wouldn't be able to express it. If these boys weren't feeling the same thing, be honest, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
you gotta be united, you know.
I'm just the face of this, like, but it is true, like, you know, like they talks about the Rod and Line gig.
Yeah.
It was a tough turnout. I wasn't used to it, like,
yeah.
But I just thought, just despite these people that were barely listening, you know, like, you got to pump it into them, like, you know what I mean? But and that's what we did. You get, like, for better or for worse, like, you know, after enjoying it, we'll give it everything, and if not enjoying it, like, we'll make sure, like, they know, like,
they talk about
we'll give it, you know, like, we'll make sure we'll give it, like, for better or for worse, like.
Doesn't matter where we are. Yeah. You know, we'll give it. We'll turn up, give our.
It wouldn't have the same.
We'll look the part.
Give us a second, mate. It wouldn't have the same impact if it wasn't for these boys, like, doing, like, these, doing an incredible job. That was a beautiful plug for me. That was like, fantastic words, like, very, very true. Like, you know, like, very true. But that was really beautiful. But this is the modesty that these guys have, like, you know, like, that, but ultimately it very much applies to themselves as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's you know, nobody can do it on their own. Nobody can do anything on their own. We as musicians, we need everybody that's in our band. We need to feel our musicians in our band feeling it and believing in it, and like it gives you an opportunity to shine. But actually, just to be like in the thing, making the thing happen, is everybody shining, isn't it? Everybody's like, you know, it's,
I agree. Like, playing live, we've all played loads of gigs, and there's nothing worse than if you're giving it your all and someone else isn't.
Yeah.
But I'm so lucky, like, this is Smokey's King Shufflers, this is the 3-piece.
Yeah.
We get different drummers in, but this is what you see out the front.
Yeah.
And we all give it our fucking all.
Yeah.
And that's so great to like, even watching back, it's like you get self-conscious, you look at yourself when you look at recording back. I'm giving it fucking all, I can't help it.
Yeah.
You
it's
see,
fucking magical, man.
You see John, which turns into Smokey, giving it his fucking all, and then you see Aid with the most bitching guitar, giving it his all. And it's it's magic. It's pure magic. It's everyone's giving it all, which inspires the drummer. And then if we get special guests, which is a horn section or whatever, you can't. It's fucking infectious. It really is. And then that gets the crowd going. But you can't help but we fucking love it. So if no one else is enjoying it, it'd be great if they did, but it doesn't matter if they don't, because we are having the fucking time of our lives.
Yeah. And I think when you, as an audience member, even if you're amongst those one, because I was at that Haunt the Woods thing and I saw Russell Sinclair, and I was like, the room was tiny. It was a really tiny room, right? And I was probably like here, and he's like there, and there's about 5 of us, and that band just gave it everything. Yeah. And I came away and I was like, fuck me, I've never seen this guy before. But wow, am I a fan? Wow, am I a fan now? And that's because he put it out. And like,
yeah, Ross was great.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's massively important. It's massively important to do that. We're gonna pretty much nearly wrap up. I need a piss, and I'm gonna have to stop.
No worries, man.
But is there anything that you guys? So if you want to catch you guys, where are you next gonna be? Give it.
I'm glad you asked, Stanley, because I'd like to just, like, you know what I mean? This has been beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you. Come on.
No,
we can have a little,
thank you very much,
we
mate.
can have a little.
No, I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Like, seriously.
Nothing like this. Bit of podcast gold, isn't it?
Absolutely.
No, like, that was beautiful, mate. I couldn't have asked it to go any better. Like,
no, thank you.
I look forward to the next time we do something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're more than welcome. Where can people come and see you guys play?
Right then, have you got my reading glasses?
You shouldn't need them at your age.
Oh, bloody hell. Bring an age into it now.
I think, by the signs of it, we're going to do a little exclusive, I think, because we haven't announced what's going on.
Oh, secret. Exclusive.
Oh, Dan, like he's just let the
Dropped
cat
it out
let
there.
the cat out the bag there. Like. Okay, like well, only because for the listeners that have listened to us talk a load of bullshit for however long, like I don't know, could have been days, could have been weeks. We have got, you know, I was going to hold it back, but he whipped it out, you know, like, so. I was going to just do the casual, you know, like gig list suggestion, but I'm going to have to
let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
No.
Bag out of the cat.
I'm going to let the swarm of piranhas out of the fish tank here, mate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyhow, so I made some notes, Dan.
Yeah, cool.
You know, like I had to. I didn't know what
So
kind of shit you were
unprepared.
going to throw. You know what I mean? I didn't know if you were going to. I thought it was going to bring Brexit into it or something like
Fuck
you know.
Brexit.
I don't know. Like you know what these politicians are like.
It's very friendly here.
Yeah, right, okay. Well, I know it is, mate. I know it is, and that's why he caught us off guard. That's why, like the other 54 pages was a waste of time. You know, like I might have to save them for some other podcast. Anyhow, like so. I'm going to speak to the camera for a second. There, like. That's what we're talking about here.
Gigs, absolutely.
Gigs.
Can you say it a bit louder?
Gigs.
Thank you. Right, gigs. 30th of March, right? And this is something we haven't discussed.
Yeah.
30th of March, we've got a new contender.
Ooh.
Yes, Dan. We didn't discuss, we discussed the special guest thing, but we've been mining around and we've been striking gold everywhere, but we've just hit
the opal mine. Diamonds.
Opal mine? What the
Rubies.
fuck's opal mine?
Opals.
Anyhow.
Australian gems.
Is it? Right, well, yeah.
After we get to Australia. We haven't got a gig in Australia, have we?
Anyway.
Not so far.
Right, we've just hit platinum.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just let that sink in for a second. Right, we've got the almighty Matt Truman on alto, which everybody knows is the ultimate. He's the go-to alto guy.
Absolutely.
And then if that weren't good enough, he just brought along his mate
Nathan
Fitzgerald on the trumpet. The horn section, the two horns, the harmonies
Have you heard the chap? Jesus.
We
I've
thought
heard of him, but I've not heard him.
You need to.
Well, Dan, we thought we'd give it a go.
Yeah.
But, we thought we'd just test the water,
We
do.
We
like
played
we told
before, and the guy is dynamite.
Excellent.
Like he's incredible.
Cool.
So.
But it was just like
First
everything
in March
else.
is in for a
We
treat.
thought, we had a gig,
Very
and it
nice.
was like, yeah, we'll try him out, see how it goes. It just fucking shit just got real. Right? So on the 30th of March in Newquay,
We got the Hollands.
get down to the Mermaid.
The Mermaid.
Yeah.
I really don't know any better situation. If you like what we've been talking about tonight, if you like the blues and just the soul and just generally a great atmosphere, that is the place to be.
Yeah. Booked by the incredibly amazing motherfucker who's Paul McKenna.
The incredible beard.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The beard, as we know.
The beard is nice.
The beard.
All right, okay, and then the next one for the Liscard listeners,
Yeah.
the Albion on the 20th, and I'm pretty sure we'll
that
probably
April?
have a very similar setup. It's the 20th of April.
Yeah.
On the 28th of April, for all of you food fans, fat people, Both 11 Food Festival will be there. You want to get yourself down on the 28th, big man, because that is when it's going to happen. It's going to kick off. We're going to just explode.
There's going to be prawns at that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or vegan.
Don't come down. Like, there's going to be prawns. Like, all of the prawn lovers.
Just vegan
it's
prawns.
Not happening. No, 20th, Port 11 Food Festival. Get down, baby. It's going to be nice. It's going to be tasty. It's going to be crispy.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. Right, and everybody's going to be. I don't even know why I promote this shit because June 2nd, Greatest Day Festival, like, you know.
Oh, Great Day.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably about minus 12 tickets now, like.
Yeah.
But we'll be there. Don't worry about it, you know, like, we'll be there.
On
We'll have CDs as well, like, even if you're so out your mind, you'll be able to remind yourself of the fun time you had, like. Right.
Take some of us home with you.
And then. I think that's all we're going to give them.
Okay, that's very cool. Where can people find your music? Are you on like Spotify and all of those?
No, they can't. Like they can find the music.
From a CD.
Well, like if you want to find the music, you come.
We've got a website.
We're playing. We're covering the whole of where I would imagine this video would be around. Like you come to a gig or. And buy a CD.
Yeah. And a tea towel.
Oh, I'll get it.
Yeah, get it.
I'll get the goods.
John, whip in the tea towel.
Can you show us the CD and the tea towel?
Here's the CD.
Exactly, yeah.
Ooh,
give it a 12, sonny.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, you can...
There you go.
You can get these lovely, fantastic articles at our shows.
Yeah.
I'm very
or off our
excited to dirty up my washing.
Yeah. Or off our website.
Very cool.
The thing about these, baby, they keep the dishes dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I like it.
Yeah, keep the dishes dirty.
Lovely.
No, thank you very much, Dan. Sincerely,
Thank you.
I very much appreciate this opportunity that you've done, mate.
Thank you very much.
I really look forward to seeing the rest of the stuff you're doing, mate.
Oh, cheers, gents. Right, thank you very much. This is this has been the Noise Filter Podcast. This has been Smokey's King Shufflers, and we will see you again. Thank you very much. See you again.
Cheers, guys.
Cheerio.